Hi guys, Mark here. I hope you're doing well. In today's tutorial, I'm going to cover the process of making a Carrick band rope mat. In my opinion, it is one of the more beautiful round rope mat designs. For my mat, I'm going to be using rope 1/4 inch in diameter. I'm going to be using two pieces, one 15 feet long, the other one 18 feet long. I recommend using hemp or jute. Some thread as well as a needle are going to be used for stitching as well as lashing our mat. Pins are quite handy for holding our mat while we're tying it. Finally, scissors are going to do our cutting tasks. Let's begin. I'm going to start my mat with my piece of rope, which is 15 feet long, so the short one. I'm going to fold it in half, then make a loop. I'm going to pin my loop so that it holds its shape. With the left end, I'm going to continue by making a second loop. Again, pinning it into place. Then another loop, pinning it down. And another one like this. So the loops are about the same distance apart. So I have 4. I'm going to take the right end. I'm going to make 3 more. Here, I'm going to do them a bit differently, like this. So 1, pin it down. The next one, then the final one. So I have a total of 7 loops. Now the two ends come together, and this one is going to follow this one and the other way around. So this one is going to follow this one. So basically, we're doubling up the mat. So once you double up the mat, we're going to continue with the second part of tying this mat. We now take a second piece of rope which is slightly longer, 18 feet. Fold it in half. Pass it over one of your loops. With the right end, we're going to pass under here then over, under, over, under. This creates another loop as well as forms a Carrick bend. Take the left end, pass it under the next loop, over this part here, then under, over, under, over. Again, forming a loop as well as the Carrick bend. Repeat again here, passing under the loop, over this part, then under here, then over, under, over. And one more time, under the next loop, over this part, under here, then over, under, over. With the right end, we're going to do things a bit differently. We start by going over our next loop, then under this part here, then over here, and finally under, over, under. Again, forming a loop as well as the Carrick bend. Repeat 2 more times. So, over your next loop, under this part here, over here, then under, over, under. Again, forming a loop as well as the Carrick bend. One more final time, over your next loop, under here, over here, then under, over, under. These two ends of our second rope now meet. Again, we're going to double each end with the other end. So this one is going to follow this one here. This one is going to follow this one. Next, I'm going to secure the ends of my rope using a lashing. So I have a needle, I'm going to thread it, tie an overhand knot on the other side, then I can start my lashing. We now secured the ends of our rope under here. I'm going to start by securing my thread here onto the bottom out of the 3 strands. Then I'm going to do a series of turns, so around the 3 strands. After a number of turns, I'm going to come up in between the first and second strand on the right. I'm going to go across my turns, down on the left, up again on the right, down again on the left, then up in between the second and third strand, tighten up firmly. Once again, across my turns, down on the left, up on the right, down on the left, up on the right, tighten up, and secure the thread onto the third strand here. Then trim your thread off, and you have secured your 2 ends. Cut them here, here, then repeat once again at the other 2 ends. So we're going to do a total of 2 lashings. One additional thing that I like to do is to stitch these 2 strands together, so these 2 in between the Carrick bands. So here, for example, these 2 strands, you attach your thread, stitch through to the top, then back to the bottom, up to the top, down to the bottom, and finally secure your thread to finish things off. This makes these parts here a bit more rigid. So guys, that's our mat. Thank you for joining me and see ya next time.